Hi, my name is Yvette Kelly-Fields. I am the president and CEO. I'm the CEO and principal consultant for Yvette Kelly-Fields and Associates. And I just wanted to take a moment to share with you how Yvette Kelly-Fields and Associates came about, the work that I'm doing, and why I'm so impassioned about the work to help executive directors of nonprofits, particularly those that are a small nonprofit that have a budget of about 500,000 to $2 million. I know you think that's not very small, but it actually is the size of your average small nonprofit. And it's usually the size where nonprofit executive directors have either been hired to run an organization, but don't always have a lot of experience, or they are a founder who started a nonprofit, started receiving money, and just by virtue of the growth of the work have now found themselves with a nonprofit with a significant size budget that they're working to try to figure out, how do I keep money coming in the door? You got the first dollar, you got the second dollar, you got the third dollar, but then it's that fourth and fifth dollar. It's that now I have staff, now I have consistent expectations from board members and donors. I am here to help the new executive director and the emerging executive director be effective in raising money without killing yourself. That is really the goal. Raise more money with less stress. Raise more money where you're not up late at night, every night, 70 hours a week for years. Raise more money without feeling like you're begging for money, without feeling like you're demoralizing. Raising more money in a way that allows you to do the work that you feel like you've been called to do, you've been hired to do, in a way that honors you, your spirit, your body, your relationships, your money, and all those things. That's why I created our company, Yvette Kelly-Fields and Associates. I originally created this company, following my little notes here, make sure I don't get off track. I originally created this company out of a need for people to have access to a top level, high quality fundraiser. I have been a professional fundraiser for nonprofit organizations for more than 20 years. I have worked for national organizations, I have worked for universities, I have worked for HBCUs, I have worked for small community based organizations, and I have also been a nonprofit executive director two times. So I have a clear understanding of how to start a nonprofit, grow a nonprofit, and stabilize a nonprofit. I understand the different streams of income that's required to keep a nonprofit moving forward, and I have deep knowledge of all the types of ways you can raise money to do so. I was finding myself about 2020, I would say about 2019, I had finished up my work as an executive director of a nonprofit and decided to transition back into full-time fundraising. As much as I love being an executive director and doing all that work, I really found that I had a great passion for raising money. That was the best part of my job as executive director. I loved raising the money. I could do all the other things. I could hire staff, I could manage staff, I could build programs, do all the marketing. I was able to build a team to do all those things. But the thing that I really enjoyed was taking the time to really nurture relationships that raise money, writing the grants, putting together all the strategic plans around that. That's what I found real great joy in. So I decided that after 5 years, and I just felt in the spirit to make a move back into fundraising, and I went back into higher education fundraising, which is an area that I had wanted to get back into since the beginning of my career. And when I did that, a funny thing happened. I started getting calls almost immediately from people who ran nonprofit organizations saying, "Hey, I heard you're not an executive director anymore. Would you be willing to do some fundraising for me? Would you be willing to show me how to raise money? Would you be willing to help me come up with a strategic plan? I need help with my board. I heard you did a great job with your board. Everybody in the community says you were really great at running a nonprofit and that maybe could help me." And that went from coffee chats and talks to helping people lay out their strategy and plans to doing organizational assessments to full blown fractional fundraising, where I came and set in to help pick up the work of somebody who was a development officer. They left. The nonprofit was having a hard time finding somebody. They just needed someone 6 months to a year to fill in while they found someone. And off to the races I was doing fractional fundraising. And then I found myself having executive directors ask for more than fractional fundraising. Hey, can you help me with mindset around understanding fundraising? Can you help me with understanding how to get my board to give? Can you help me with thinking about the finances? Can you help me? Because all those things play a role in effectively running a nonprofit. All those things play a role in it. It's not just getting the money. Most people think the money is the biggest part. Getting the money is takes effort and work, but it is not the biggest part. The biggest part is getting the money, properly storing the money, delivering the results that will allow you to attract more money, to do more work, to deliver more results, which is what your mission is calling you to do. That's what it's calling you to do. And a lot of people have a good idea of what they want to do and accomplish, but they don't have a good system in place. They're not clear about it. And when they're not clear, they're not consistent. When they're not consistent, then their confidence fades. And then overall, they just struggle to run a nonprofit. So my goal was not to go work for everybody, because I can't be everybody's development director. I can't raise money for everybody. What I can do is train people with the same systems that I created, my own systems that I literally created, that I used in every job, to help other people develop skills and then go raise money. I'm literally working to take my own brain, my experience, everything I've gotten from 3 degrees and certifications and CFRE and everything else, put it into a framework to help somebody who knows nothing about nonprofit fundraising learn how to raise money and run a nonprofit. That's exactly what Yvette Kelly-Fields and Associates does. That's what I'm here to do. And I try to do it in a fun way. I do it in a way that's funny, I do it in a way that's relatable, and I do it in a way that's easy for you to digest and take. So one of the things I did, in addition to creating my fractional fundraising practice, was I created a program called the Nonprofit Boss. And I do it through my Nonprofit Boss Academy. Wasn't the goal of the Nonprofit Boss Academy to help you as an executive director, whether you're paid executive director, volunteer executive director, or you're acting in the capacity of an executive director? You could be the CFO, but there's no executive director, and it's like, hey, can you step up and be the interim until we find somebody? You may be a board member who had an executive director leave, and you stepped into the executive director role, and now you're trying to lead the organization, and you're like, I know something, but I don't know enough. Or you might be like, I don't know nothing, but I'm a good-hearted person who wants to do good. So that's why I took on this role, trying to help people. So the Nonprofit Boss Academy is for you. It is designed to help you understand in bite sizes how to run a nonprofit and how to raise money. And with every single thing you do in the academy, literally after you learn something, you can go implement it. You can literally start to see yourself raising more money within less than 6 months. It could be less than a month, depending on how quick you're willing to activate. That's what I love about the Nonprofit Boss Academy. That's why it was created. So I look forward to the opportunity of having you follow along this journey. One of the things I do is every day I share a fundraising tip. In the academy, you actually would get some hands-on coaching, group coaching, opportunity to do some one-on-ones. It's a fee attached to that. So if you're ever interested, feel free to reach out to me at YvetteKellyfields.com. I'd love to hop on a call with you and talk more about how I can help you learn how to get clear so you can get consistent, so it can build your confidence, so you can raise more money with less stress. When you are clear, when you are consistent, and when you're confident, I promise you'll have less stress. Everybody I've worked with will say I have less stress because I'm clear, I'm confident, and I'm consistent. So welcome to the Nonprofit Boss Academy. Get ready to grow. Get ready to make more money.